Good morning and welcome back. This is World Talks here on TVP World. I'm Salia Stremska. EU commissioners gathered in Gdańsk to outline priorities for the Polish presidency of the Council of the European Union. Discussions covered multiple issues, yet the final press conference concentrated on security and defense, unsurprisingly, given the situation in Ukraine. There is one more thing, however, we're going to cover, which is what Prime Minister Donald Tusk has said.
The Migration Pact has not been the subject of our debate today, but I have confirmed once again, and thank you for your understanding, the European governments made a decision about the pact. Today, Poland is hosting nearly 2 million refugees from Ukraine, which puts us in a very particular position. And I said it very, very clearly to the Polish public, and I also repeated it today to Ursula, and I thank you for your understanding that Poland will not implement this pact that will increase the number of migrants in Poland. We are ready to cooperate with anyone to protect Europe against illegal migration, but Poland is not ready to accept any additional burdens.
To discuss this eventful summit, I am joined here this morning by Michał Matlak, Policy Advisor, European Parliament. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Delighted to have you with us. Thank you for joining. So let's
Thank you
start
for the invitation.
Let's start with what we've just heard from Prime Minister Tusk. Do you think that what he said will have some consequences, especially from countries such as Italy and Greece? Are you expecting any backlash, or will the EU just agree to Poland saying no to this policy? Yeah.
I don't expect a huge backlash because it's not the first time Tusk said it. Tusk doesn't specify kind of which concrete tools will he use in order to implement what he said. I think that what he aims at is kind of an informal agreement with the Commission that Poland will not be asked to welcome migrants. I think that this is how it will go. So the European Commission has the right to kind of change the burdens on member states when it comes to the number of migrants to be welcomed, and I think that this is the way Tusk will do that. So it will be it will be based on an agreement between Tusk and Polish government, because the Migration Pact actually formally takes into account the extraordinary situations, and one of these, as an extraordinary situation, we might see the number of Ukrainian migrants in Poland, as we know, around 2 million, maybe more. Therefore, the Commission has the right to take that into account and not ask Poland to welcome more.
Right. According to the latest UN data, apparently there's 1 million Ukrainian refugees registered in Poland as of January. But speaking about Poland's issues, the good news is, right, that the migratory pressure at Poland's border with Belarus has been addressed. That Ursula von der Leyen said that EU will support Poland and the project Shield East. Do we know how extensively will they do so?
No, we don't know the details, but we will know them until the end of Polish presidency, most likely. So the East Shield is one of the projects to be discussed during Polish presidency in detail. Poland also implemented already a big part of it, and as you know, the number of migrants who are trying to get to Poland illegally diminished radically. Also because of the fact that we have a winter, but the fact that the government introduced already built actually special installations there had a big role. So a part of it is implemented by Poland itself, but obviously the Polish idea is to make it broader, to include also other countries, and to add additional systems. And this is something that the Commission will most likely co-finance. But the exact amount will be known until most likely will be known until the end of Polish presidency.
Okay, so let's turn to the issue of Ukraine. Rearmament bank. That's the idea that Poland's foreign minister is supporting. So what does it entail, really? And how is it different from other commitments that the EU already has?
Well, we also have here a kind of a heated discussion. So there is an agreement that the EU has to do more. The details that the Commission will propose will be published in March. It's a white paper on European defense, which is being prepared by Andrius Kubilius, Commissioner for Defense. But we already know that it will entail kind of reindustrialization, the kind of the rebuilding of a military industry as one of the most important aspects. And then there are some points on which there is no agreement yet, meaning how much can be bought from the European money in Europe and how much can be bought outside of that. That's one of the most important kind of questions still. And the other one is how to finance that. So Poland, France, and many other countries are happy to finance it from the additional debt. Germany is against, and most likely will be against it also after the election. We don't know that yet, but from what Mr. Merz is saying, it seems that it will be against it. But there is this agreement then that the EU has to do much more already now. So before the next budgetary perspective, it's a lot of this. What should be done is about industry, but also about interoperability, about the special cooperation between EU and NATO, and about including, for example, Ukraine, basically as a member state in the European defense programs. This is what is already happening, and I expect that to intensify.
I've mentioned that Germany is against at the moment. What about countries such as Hungary and Slovakia?
We can expect that they might be against it, although Viktor Orban in the last years was not completely clear when it comes to European defense. There were moments where he was very much in favor. So we can expect some backlash from these countries, but we experienced backlash from especially from Hungary many times, and it was not impossible to break it. Plus, there are other kind of options on the table, meaning if Hungary or Slovakia doesn't agree, we can try to create a separate fund that will not be officially part of the European Union, but it could include, for example, the UK and Norway. So there are options on the table which take into account possible backlash from Hungary and Slovakia.
Okay, so let's just concentrate on the financial aspect, because from what I've gathered, the EU would need about 500 billion euro over the next 10 years in order to prep better militarily and to be able to deter any future threats. And how is the EU supposed to do that? It seems that those countries that are already in NATO have an issue meeting the 2% GDP goal, right? So how is that increased defense spending going to look like in reality?
So first, we don't know how much do we need. The sum you mentioned was indeed mentioned by President von der Leyen, not only her, but it's a kind of it's a guess, I'd say, because we don't know the exact details that we really need. When it comes to financing, well, there aren't that many options on the table, I'd say. One is common debt, so to issue, for example, bonds in order to finance that. It's not completely impossible. I'd say that the atmosphere is showing that we are going indeed in that direction. So let's see what Chancellor Merz, if he's elected, says. For example, Chancellor Merkel was against bonds for many years, and after the Corona crisis, after the Corona hit Europe, she agreed to do that. So I expect some changes in Germany on that front as well. And if not that, then the other option is to kind of to force member states to pay more into the European budget, but this is much more difficult. The third option is to have some additional income into the European budget, and these ideas are also on the table. But the third option will not cover the whole sum, because there are no kind of which would kind of give. So I'd say that in one way or another, it will most likely be a common debt, but there are many kind of ways in which it can be done.
Right. So my last question will be a little bit off topic. However, I do want to ask you that because EU High Court on Wednesday, right, said that the EU's Executive Commission was within its rights to withhold 320 million euros from payments to Poland, right, which is a punishment, right, for the for what has happened under the previous government, the not complying with the rule of law. So my question is, what is the future on this issue? Will Poland be able to get the money back at some point? If
this is the decision of the court, and the EU treats the rule of law seriously. So I'd say that in general, the Poland will get still a lot of money from the European budget and from other European sources, meaning the additional funding started after the coronavirus. But I'm not sure we will be able to get back this concrete sum. It seems that this will be rather difficult.
Okay, well, and on this, we have to wrap up. Thank you so much for being with us this morning. Much appreciated. Have a good day. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
And thank you for watching World Talks. Please stay tuned for more here on TV World. We'll be right back.